Nubian queens in the Nile Valley and Afro-Asiatic cultural history. The Candaces of Meroe, Meroitic Hidigo, meaning great woman, have inspired more curiosity or legend than systematic cultural historical study since they entered world history through Strabo's account of the one-eyed Candace in 23 BCE in his Geography. Biblical references not only to a Candace, New Testament Acts 8:26-1, but also to the account of the Queen of Sheba's visit to King Solomon in Jerusalem, Book of Chronicles 2:9, have served to add adventure and romance to the legendary queens of the East. The fabled Al-Kahina, queen of the Berbers, who staved off the Arab invasion of the Maghreb from 693-98 CE when she was killed defending her homeland, is the subject of such legend for her cunning and military prowess that she has multiple identities depending upon the source. She is variously referred to as the Queen of the Hours, mountains among the Berbers, the Queen of Ifriqiya and the Maghreb among the Arabs, a Berber Deborah in Jewish accounts, and sponsor of the last heroic resistance to the Arabs by French scholars. So diverse are the accounts of her exploits that she is now a subject of historiographical analysis. Add to these the legends and historical traditions from North Africa, across the Sahel and West Africa, of women who founded cities, led migrations, or conquered kingdoms. Among these, for example, can counted the queens of Songhai, Amina of Katsina, 15th century, and Bazau Turunku, Queen Asbite of the Garamantes.
Alyssa Dido, N., the Phoenician princess and founder of the city of Carthage, 980 BCE. The Tuareg leader Nugaymeth al-Tarkiya, the star of the Tuareg archers in Arabic, who led an Almoravid siege of Valencia. Queen Zobeida, founder of the city of Tauris in Arabia in 800 AD. In modern times, past patterns continued with the Ashanti queen, Mother Ya Asantewa, who led several successful battles against British colonialism in 1900. Oral traditions of women as powerful figures or clever strategists in their roles as queens, as warrior queens, or as romantic figures have had great appeal in times past, and continue to do so in this present era of feminist or humanist interest in the subject. Survey of Afro-Asiatic ruling queens, regnant queens, those ruling in their own right, including women from kingdoms in Arabia and Southwest Asia, the northern tier of Africa, the Nile Valley, the Blue as well as White Niles, constitute a remarkable chapter in world history. For about 1,500 years, from the 10th century BCE to about the 5th century CE, an impressive number of ruling queens reigned. Among the Afro-Asiatic states of Southwest Asia and Northeast Africa, it was generally the less hegemonic states where ruling queens have prevailed. Hegemonic states include large-scale empires with major urban centers, extensive external trade, military and conquest relations with surrounding peoples, such as the Egyptian, Syrian, Babylonian, Greek, or Roman empires. While pharaonic Egypt boasts several regnant queens, of whom Hatshepsut and Cleopatra VII are the most famous, this record contrasts dramatically with the much longer Meroitic list of ruling queens. During 3,000 plus years of history, 7 Egyptian queens are known to have ruled in their own right.
That is, they were more than merely queen consorts or queen mothers. By comparison, Meroe claims at least 10 regnant queens during the 500-year period between 260 BCE and 320 CE, and no fewer than 6 during the 140 period between 60 BC and 80 AD. Beyond this remarkable difference, the Meroitic queens were portrayed as women, often alone or in the forefront of their own stelae and sculptures, dressed in women's regal clothing, while Hatshepsut, the best known of the Egyptian female pharaohs, had herself portrayed as male to garner acceptance and to refer to herself as king, there being no word in Egyptian for ruling queen. Both Ethiopian and Yemenis claim the Queen of Shebu, who is known as Balkis in the Quran and in Arabic literature since the Himyarite kingdom of Saba ruled both areas. Her legend has overwhelmed all others in Jewish, Christian, and Islamic discourse. Less well known are the many queens who ruled in Arabia and in Ethiopia, probably Since her time, in one area of Arabia, there were no fewer than 5 regnant queens who ruled from Adumatu in the north, the contemporary city of Al-Jawf, in one remarkable century from 744-6 to 333 BCE, are devoted to the forgotten queens of Arabia and Arabia as a land of battle queens. Aisha, the youngest wife of the Prophet Muhammad, for example, distinguished herself in the famous Battle of the Camel. In 656 CE 34, Ach, where her troops seized Basra, but were eventually defeated by Ali in his drive for succession as Khalifa.
Ethiopia's long dynastic history was nonetheless non-hegemonic, limited primarily to the highlands. According to its own accounting, this history extends over 4 millennia, from 4470 BCE to 1973, the year of the overthrow, the last Menelik emperor, Haile Selassie. The chronological table of the sovereigns of Ethiopia, requested by C.F. Ray and conveyed to him by the Rastafari Haile Selassie in 1922, establishes the royal mythology and was translated as Adu, the Ethiopian king of kings. This official chronicle of the Ethiopian monarchy of dynastic succession descends from Menelik I, 957 BC, Lunar calendar. Included 6 reigning queens, referred to as Kandaki, comprising what appears to be a Kandaki line. The first is Nikauta Kandaki, 736 41 BC, with 5 subsequent Kandaki line queens ruling between 332 BC to 50 AD. 21 queens are recorded as sole regent in the kingdom of Ethiopia until the 9th century CE, and several of these played critical roles in Ethiopian history. 3. The conquest of Meroe by the Aksumite king Ezana may well provide the historical fiction for the Ethiopian dynastic claim to the Nubian Kandakes, as well as their kings. However, the claim is noteworthy, for it incorporates these regnant queens as culturally compatible. Makeda, identified as the queen of Sheba in the Kebra Negast, is also identified as Kandut, or queen mother. These Kandakes could be derived from the Meroitic tradition, or be a later invention. Convergence or confusion of the Meroitic queens with the Ethiopian queens as Kendake has been noted by Vantini.
3 of the Ethiopian queens were central to significant turning points in dynastic history. 1, Makeda, queen of Saba, hence Sheba, who founded the Menelik dynasty that ruled until the overthrow of Haile Selassie in 1974. 2, Queen Ahewa, regal name Sophia, who made Christianity the official religion of the Ethiopian kingdom in 332 AD. And 3, Gudit, the Jewish queen who founded the rival Zagwe dynasty, 933-1253 CE, until the Amhara Solomonic line was restored. Quirin, 1992, 12-19. After Gudit, there were no other official regnant queens in the list of sovereigns. However, the Empress of Ethiopia at the time of Abyssinia's defense against Italian colonial ambitions in the 1930s was Queen Zaudita, the daughter of Menelik II. Some suggested cultural historical patterns. The following cultural historic patterns are suggested as possible points for further study and comparative analysis of regnant queens in Northeast Africa, including Nubia and Southwest Asia. Matrilineal succession of regents. Descent traced through a feminine line, mother to offspring. Queen mothers and other high-ranking women associated with matrilineal succession. C. Brother-sister co-regency, a feature of matrilineal succession. 2. Feminine origin myths, foundresses of cities and dynasties. 3. Warrior queens, women at the battlefield, lady of victory. Tradition 1. Matrilineality. Descent and inheritance. False conclusion that female... This